I would like to introduce my very good friend, Aastha. Aastha is a 12-year-old girl who goes to Blanchard Middle School and she lives in Westford, Massachusetts. Aastha enjoys swimming, skiing, taekwondo, and much more. She does Bharatanatyam at the Leah School of Performing Arts, and she does taekwondo at Tiger Ants. One day, Aastha wishes to travel the world. So please welcome my really good friend, Aastha, to the stage.
Hi, my name is Aastha. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Before I start, I'd like to thank Ira for her wonderful speech about autism. I truly want to help this cause. So, today I'm going to talk about 5 quotes that are dear to my heart and I find truly important. A lot of people think quotes are just words that don't matter to us, but quotes have a deeper meaning that we all can learn from. A lot of us has many unique qualities, but some qualities we don't have, and we have to accept that. So my first quote: when it's raining, look for the rainbow. When it's dark, look for the stars. By Anonymous. This quote mainly says optimism. Does anyone know what optimism means? We all went to school, adults. The person in the way back in the blue shirt.
Well, I'm very optimistic listening to your talk.
Thank you. Anyone else? The young lady in the white shirt.
Being happy.
The young lady in the white shirt said being happy, and that's exactly it. Happiness. Being positive is being optimistic. And thank you for that lovely comment. I'm very motivated now. So why is it important to be optimistic? Why can't we just go around being negative all the time? Why can't we just take everything for granted, like she said? Well, it takes us down if I walked around saying, oh, I hate this carpet, I hate this dress, I hate everything. It would make the people around me feel bad, and it would make me feel bad. And no one wants to be sad all the time, right? Everyone likes to be happy. Raise your hand if you're truly happy right now. See, a lot of people are happy. And even when we're not happy, we should try to stay optimistic. So we look at everything in the best possible light, because usually that does make things better. If we look at everything in a negative view, then usually the negative is what happens. And a common phrase for optimism is looking at the glass half full instead of half empty. But in my way, you should always be happy because the glass is always full. Half juice, half air. My second quote. Life begins when you step out of your comfort zone. By Anonymous. I'm not saying go and jump off a cliff, because this will be taking risks. That is a risk, but I don't want you to get hurt in any way. Taking risks also doesn't mean getting out of your warm shower in the winter or of your perfectly air-conditioned house in the summer. That's just something you need to do or you become a couch potato. Why is it important to take some risks? Because when we look back at our life, we don't want to say, oh, I wonder what would happen if we chose a different path or done something differently. Sometimes it is better to admit that we did make mistakes, like the people in Salem did, like my good friend Anika pointed out. And yeah, learn from those mistakes. And we never know, it could end up in success, not mistake. Now my third one. You are not given a bad life or a good life. You are given life. This mainly says you're in charge of your own life, and you have to take charge of your own life. You decide whether your life will be good or bad. And it's not just a simple decision. Sometimes the good path is the harder path, but it's better to have a good record than a bad one. And you have to get up and do something. You can't just sit in a couch or chair and say, oh, if I'm worthy, then destiny will come and give me $1 million. Look at all your parents. We wouldn't be sitting here where we are if they hadn't worked. So we all have to work, even as children. If Albert Einstein decided he didn't like his yellow pencil, or that he wouldn't get over his autism, like Ira said, then we wouldn't be where we are today with E equals MC squared and everything else he did. If a lot of people don't decide to do anything, then they won't get anywhere in life. And if maybe one of you will be a great scientist or doctor someday. But if you don't decide to work hard, go to school, and not complain that much, then you won't get anywhere. My fourth quote. Maybe it's not about fixing the past. Maybe it's about creating something new and better. This quote I chose because it's very straightforward, and we don't have to dig as deep for the deeper meaning. It literally means what it says. Don't live in the past. Don't worry about the future. Live in the present. And if you do make a mistake in the past, learn from it, create something better. Say you made a painting, and you accidentally blotched it somewhere. Don't rip it up, get angry at yourself, and be really hard on yourself and say, I'm never going to paint again. Create something new and better. I bet you that Pablo Picasso didn't make his masterpiece in one day, or he didn't get to that masterpiece on his first day of art. We all should know that we have to not give up, and that we can't live in the past. The present is a present. That's literally what it means, a gift. Now my last quote, and my favorite quote. Imagination is better than knowledge. Say we have two subjects, imagination and knowledge. Raise your hand if you have an A+ in knowledge, but an F in imagination. No one? Raise your hand if you want it switched, maybe an A in imagination and an F in knowledge. So a few of you, raise your hand if you want it equal. And maybe even slightly more imagination.
You mean F or A?
What?
Equal means F or A?
Equal, meaning like A, B, both A's, more appealing to you guys. So actually, I would go for a little teensy bit more imagination. Because I feel imagination is a little slightly more better than knowledge. I know maybe a few would like to disagree, but here, I'll tell you why. Imagine if Thomas Edison, he only had his knowledge, but no imagination. If he hadn't thought of the idea of the light bulb, he could have never put his knowledge to good use. We wouldn't be standing here, maybe, in this room with lights. Maybe we'd be staying here, but in darkness. And I know, it's hard to admit, but some of us are scared of dark. That's why it's important to have that imagination. Because a lot of us, it would be a really different life if we lived in a world without music, without art, without creativity, right? Yes. Just imagine a world without that. I mean, it would be pretty boring. And no one likes boring. So sometimes it is better for imagination to be better than knowledge. But it is also important to have knowledge to go to school. I'm not saying you just quit school because it's like, I'm so creative, I'll succeed in life. But you need to have that creativity to be able to put that knowledge to good use. You can't hope that you'll be able to do anything with your knowledge if you don't have creativity. But you should always have knowledge. So I'm kind of always there. Today I talked about 5 quotes that I love and I hope you all liked. There are a lot of quotes, and these are just 5 very simple ones that I bet a lot of you haven't heard of. There are a lot of quotes that we have heard of, and some important sayings like the glass is half full, the glass is half empty. Quotes always have a deeper meaning though. I know in Blanchard Middle School a bunch of quotes are there. Does anyone go to Blanchard? Do you remember any of the quotes? Son?
You can make more friends in 2 months by talking than in 2 years.
So the young girl in the white shirt pointed out a quote. And there are quotes everywhere, sometimes where we least expect them. But today I want all of you to remember one quote or think of one quote and follow through with it. It probably should be a good quote, not a bad one, but just follow through. If it's about not giving up, then try to not give up. It could be one of the quotes I told you today, or it could be a quote that you find on the back of a toilet seat. It really doesn't matter. Just follow through with it, and I bet you'll get better in that. I'll take all questions later. So thank you for listening to my speech, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did.